So, hello, welcome to GF Tech Reviews. Today I wanted to talk about something really interesting and doing a review. So for years there's been a debate whether or not a Surface Pro is a tablet or a laptop. In fact, Surface themselves have just changed the tagline. Originally they were advertised as tablets, and now they're being advertised as the most versatile laptop. Now I wanted to find out myself if a Surface Pro can replace a laptop. So now keep in mind this is the Surface Pro 6, but there isn't much difference between the Surface Pro 6 and 7 in terms of software. The Surface Pro 7 has the USB-C, which gives you an advantage if you're out and about. You can charge from the USB-C, and also has the Iris Lake, which I believe is a little bit of an upgrade from Surface 6, which uses the UHD 620, but I don't think it's a huge difference. It's not like jumping from a MX250 to a Graphics 2060. Now keep in mind with all these devices, the Surface Pro, any type of tablets you're going to use, and even a basic laptop, these are not high intensity editing. So if you're looking to do high intensity editing, all of these laptops won't work. For a basic editing machine, from my own experience, I've been using an MX250 and even that doesn't work. So basically for a basic editor, you need at least a 16 gigabyte RAM. You need at least a Core i7 to a Core i9, and you need at least graphics of NVIDIA 1000 or a similar type of graphics chip if you want to do high intensity and move with the colors. So my plan to check this is to put this Surface Pro 6 and only use the Surface Pro 6 for the next 2 days and see if it can do what I would basically do with my basic laptop, which is basic editing, like editing for Instagram, editing, putting together videos, rendering videos, using my 4K footage from my drone, and also just in office, internet, how does it run? I'm also going to use a Kensington base station, which I have here, which includes 4 or 5 USB ports plus USB-C, Ethernet, and 2 display, even though I won't be using the Ethernet over display ports. Also, we're going to use a hard drive because this is a lower spec 850-256, and I'm going to see if you can get through 2 days using this as a computer with a lower spec machine, or you need a higher spec machine. And also I have the external keyboard, which I'm going to use, the pen, and an external mouse. So if you have any questions or anything you'd like to know, or you want me to see me do this with anything else, obviously, as I said, the Surface Pro 7 would be excluded because it has similar software, so it wouldn't really be worth testing the Surface Pro 7 here. So it will be anything else, such as the iPad Pro or any other tablet, to see if it can live up to this test as well. Well, I hope you enjoy it, and welcome to GF Tech Reviews. Let's see what happens. Hello, welcome to GF Tech Reviews. Today, as I said, we're seeing if the Surface Pro 6 can replace a laptop. Start with the most basic thing. What hard drive am I going to start with? What memory am I going to start with? So as you can see right here on the local disk C, I'm going to start with 186. So that should give you an idea of how quickly it goes down. Because the problem with the Surface Pros is that you can't upgrade the memory. The memory is not upgradable. So you're stuck with what you ordered. So you have to make sure you get the right thing for what you need. I started with 237, as you can see, but I've already put on Office, Netflix, Adobe. So for Adobe, I've got a Premiere Rush, Premiere Pro, Photoshop, Media Encoder, Acrobat DC. So I have everything I need already on here. Now the only thing is I'm not going to put for the editing, I'm going to take the files, the photos straight off the hard drive, which I also have here, which you can see I have a 1 terabyte hard drive. So that will also be something to keep in mind. But this gives you a good overall idea if the memory also will be enough and if it can run basic computer software. So here I've actually moved the files that I want to use for this video edit from the D drive over to the C drive. They are 4K files from my drone, the Mavic 2 Pro. And as you can see, it does take up a lot of memory. So there's 2 ways you can do it. Either you can do it direct from the D drive, but I don't like it because it's another thing I have to carry around. So I prefer to put them direct on the C drive. Thing is, the moment you finish editing the video, you need to delete the files from the C drive, especially if you have a lower spec machine such as this one, because it will build up your memory again. So I'll show you that after I've done this video and I've shown you how these guys' videos work and everything. But that's what you want to do, because as you see, it's 179 now. So having pulled them off the C drive, I'm now going to put them here into Adobe Premiere Pro. As you can see, it's the full version. And I'm actually going to play it for you in full. Now, this, keep in mind, is 4K footage from a drone, including music. And it plays in full, like Absolutely no problem, really smooth, no jerkiness. With really clear sound, the sound's coming through very clear. And now we're gonna switch it to half right here. And you're gonna see no real difference. If you play both, absolutely no problems. Again, now do keep in mind, this is very, very basic footage. This is not incredibly difficult footage. This is basic footage. This is really simple, but it still is 4K from a drone and does have music. Of course, no color grading or anything like that. So one of the things that's going to give this the ability to turn it into a fully functioning desktop or laptop is the Surface dock from Kingston. It's very Kensington, excuse me. It's very similar to the original Surface dock from Surface, but it's more functional, has more ports, has more interesting stuff. So you can see you can actually move it. Many people call this a mini studio due to the fact that you can move it up, you can move it down, you can position it how you want it to be. It will connect right here on the side. This is your Surface connector, and it's actually charged. So this will use a DC in. So this will automatically charge your Surface. It works for the Surface 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. And as soon as you plug it out, this is how you will remove it and how everything will disconnect. And this is then how you will connect it. So as you see, I have a keyboard connected here. I have a hard drive connected here with no problems. As you can see, I'll show you right here. The pen, again, works no problems. So what's the conclusion that we can gather from all of this? Well, there are many, and we've answered all three questions. Starting with the first one, is the Surface Pro a laptop or a tablet? Well, simply put, the Surface Pro is a laptop, especially if you add the pen and the keyboard, because with the keyboard, you're effectively adding a mouse, and the pen is effectively giving you another mouse or touch pen, plus the ability to draw. But it's not why I would consider it a laptop. The reason I would consider it a laptop, even without the tablet, without the add-ons, is because it's Intel. For starters, it's Intel i7. What tablet out there do you know that runs Intel? So it runs an Intel chipset. Second of all, it runs all Windows apps natively, has a full version of Windows 10 on it. So I don't think you could consider this a tablet in any way. It runs all the Adobe products with no problems, including video editing, which I'll go into a little bit more detail in the next video. But that way, for me, it's hands down, it is a laptop. There's no other way to look at it. It's not a tablet. Now, in answer to the second question, is the RAM I have on the lowest spec, which is the 8256, enough to get you through a general workday? Is it enough to take its time? Yes, but it depends how you're doing it and what you're working on. So, for example, I personally, as you saw earlier, like to take things off a hard drive. Most of my stuff is stored on a hard drive, especially when I'm working with drone footage, because the video of a drone or the 4K footage is around 1 gigabyte. So it's a lot of memory for your hard drive to take. So I will take off the pictures or the videos I need to create that single video. I will put them on the C drive. I will put them into Adobe Premiere Pro. I'll use them to edit. I will export the video. Once I'm happy with the video completely with all elements, then I will delete them from my hard drive. The reason I prefer to do this is because if I ever forget my hard drive or don't know my hard drive is, I can always still work directly off the Surface Pro. The other way to do it is like having the files never touch your computer. You work directly with the hard drive. So you import directly from the hard drive into Adobe Premiere Pro. That works as well, but you're always going to need your hard drive to, or your USB or whatever you want to use, but you're always going to need one of them to have your files be able to work on those files. The final question, the biggest question was, a lot of people want to know, can it actually replace a laptop? Do you need a full-blown laptop, or can this work as a laptop? Simply put, this can work as a laptop. As you saw in earlier videos, it has no problem editing. Now, again, a little disclaimer, like at the beginning of editing, these were basic edits. These are basic 4K edits from a drone. These aren't highly sophisticated edits. These aren't color changing. These are basic edits, which includes music. But as an example, my Xiaomi Mi Notebook Pro, which is a full-blown laptop, which has 16 gigabytes of RAM and 512 gigabytes of memory, exports the same video as on the Surface Pro 6 in around 9 to 11 minutes. Now here, the codec of H.264 took 9 minutes, and the codec of the MP4 took 11 minutes. But that same video to export on the Xiaomi Mi Notebook Pro took 9 to 11 minutes as well. So just to show you how good the processor is and how well it works for those basic edits you may need. It definitely runs Office, no problem. It definitely runs WhatsApp, internet, Facebook with no problems. So basically put, this can 100% replace a laptop. You can use it anywhere. It's much lighter than a laptop. Now, if you're going into high-level edits, I wouldn't use either of the laptops I just mentioned. You need a graphics intense laptop, but these work very, very well if you want to keep your VI editing low and inside standards. So overall, I definitely think the Surface Pro 6 is a really good alternative to a laptop, especially if you're going to do daily tasks like Office or do basic editing, because it runs Adobe Pro no problem. And actually this memory 8256 is perfectly fine. And it even has a really, really good camera. So a lot of this video was done using the Surface Pro camera. So I actually think it has a better camera than both the Xiaomi's. So overall, I think I would give this an 8 out of 10 for a device. Been really, really impressed of it for the price and everything, especially with the added accessories. Of course, that puts it up in price, but I definitely think it's worth it. If you're looking for a laptop portable on the go and you're not looking for something to stay at home and edit, like this can't replace obviously a gaming laptop or a high intensity editing machine. But if you're looking for something easy to go on the road, something light, something practical, something that you can whip up, this is definitely a really, really good alternative.